Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on European Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a translation of a message that I received, and the translation of that message, it reads like this. Hello, Brother Nashi, how are you? Can you please post my own story as anonymous? I want to confess the things that I did to my husband, and I did not know that by performing these rituals, my husband was going to die. How could I have ever known that I was going to lose my husband after performing these rituals? The traditional healer did not even tell me that by performing these rituals, then there was a possibility that my husband was going to die. But unfortunately, my husband, he has since passed away, and I really need help and advice from your listeners, because now I am seeing the spirit of my husband because of some of the things that I did or which I was forced to do at my husband's funeral. So this is what happened after my husband had passed away. At his funeral, I was then told to make an oath, because my husband's nephew, who comes from the Red Garment Prophet Church, he had a vision, and it was revealed to him that it was I who murdered her own husband. And then that was when she went and she spoke with my in-laws and told them that this was the vision that she had when she was sleeping. And then that was when I was brought and a family meeting was held, and they said that if you say that you did not have anything to do with the passing away of your husband, then you need to take a bucket of water, which I did. After I had taken a bucket of water, my husband's coffin was then removed from the kitchen where we were keeping his body, because we wanted to bury him the next day. This happened at night after his body had been taken from the mortuary. So then he was taken to our bedroom, where his brothers removed his dead body from the coffin and placed him on the bed. Then they told me that I should enter and use the water to wipe his feet, to wipe his hands, including his face, with a wet towel. Then after that, I was supposed to wash that towel, and I had to go and bath using that towel, because I knew that I had not done anything to harm my husband in a way that he was going to die, even though I had done some rituals in order for my husband to stop seeing his prostitute. But I never suspected that those rituals that I had done were the ones that had caused my husband to die. So I then took that bucket, and I was accompanied by one of my sister-in-laws, and they went with me, and they were watching me to see if I was going to bath using that towel. The water was so cold, oh Brother Nashi, how cold it was. But I told myself that I have to prove a point to my in-laws that I was not the one who had killed her own husband, and I was in pain since I had lost my husband. So after I had finished bathing, they expected that there was something that was going to happen. Maybe I'll start to go crazy. And when it did not happen, they even started doubting their nephew, who had a vision and had seen that I was the one who was responsible for the death of my husband. And now the situation that I am facing, I am always seeing my husband in a vision, and I really need advice from your listeners. What is it exactly that I am supposed to do to chase away his spirit? Because I really do not know what else to do. I have used different charms. The truth is that this traditional healer that assisted me, that healer gave me some charms, and these charms, they were the ones that resulted with my husband passing away. And right now, I am having suicidal thoughts. My husband, he also suffered a lot before he passed away. My husband was dating a prostitute, and when we had sent him to Harare to sell some tobacco that we had harvested, and he came back with nothing, I got so mad at him, and I went to a traditional healer. So I want advice as well, if there is a prophet that can chase away the spirit of my husband because I just want to live my life. He is the one that started with this whole thing. I am a woman that is aged 39 years old. I am staying at my brother's plot. My brother is in the United Kingdom and we are staying in an area that is called Banket. So me and my husband, after my brother had gone to the UK, that was when we sat down and we had a discussion. And then we said that since my brother was not using his piece of land, maybe it was far much better that we go there and we started our small projects. My brother even assisted us with some equipment for irrigation. And I can say that we have been staying here for close to 5 years now, and life has been moving according to plan. Like, we are not rich, but at least we were okay. So in the past years, we used to plant maize meal, and after harvesting we would sell the maize grain to GMB. But now that we had managed to raise money, then that was when we decided that we wanted to plant tobacco, and we did as we had agreed. Me and my husband, we had been working as a team. Like, as for me, I was not resting because I thought that this was our own opportunity. We were going to use it each and every time. Whenever we would have harvested, we would take our tobacco to the auction floors so that we can make money. So the last time that we planted this tobacco, me and my husband, we were able to harvest, this was 9 bales of tobacco. And my husband was the one who went to the tobacco auction floors that are there in Harare. And I remained behind because I was also busy with some tomatoes, including some vegetables that were already ready for harvest. So my husband was the one that went to Harare. When my husband went to Harare, that was when he started sleeping around with that woman, the prostitute. My husband really hurt me quite a lot. He returned back home with nothing. When he was in Harare, after he had sold the tobacco, I also confirmed with other people from the nearby villages who had gone to sell their tobacco as well, and they told me that they had managed to sell, and my husband had been drinking alcohol with some prostitutes. So my husband then came back home. I thought that maybe he still had money, but when he came back home, I then found out that my husband, he was broke. All of his money he had given to that prostitute. Me and my husband, we started fighting. We fought quite a lot. Even his family, they knew about this. I then went in secret to this other traditional healer who is here in Banket. I went to him and I cried and I told him that this was what my husband had done. The healer then asked me if I still wanted to remain married to my husband, or if I was supposed to be given some charms, these charms that would make my husband to turn his back against me and for him to forget about me as if I never existed in his life. And then that was when I said, no, I still want my husband. I still want to remain married to him. Please give me charms in order to fix him. If he tries to touch another woman, his gearbox will be stuck, will refuse to work. So then that healer helped me with an African central locking system, and he told me to use the charms, and some of them I had to bury them at my compound, and I did as I had been instructed. My husband, he got so sick after we had spoken about the things that were affecting us in our marriage, and my husband apologized and he said that he was sorry and he was never going to repeat such a mistake again. That is what really hurts me, because my husband was showing to me and proving to me that he was a changed man. My husband then passed away after he had been sick for a very long time. So after my husband had passed away, that was when at his funeral I was told to prove myself to the family that I did not participate in killing him, and me wanting to prove to my in-laws that I had nothing to do with my husband's death. That was when I took the towel and I washed myself, the same towel that I had used to wipe his feet, his hands, including his face. Now I see my husband wherever I go to. At night, Brother Nash, when I look outside, sometimes I see a small dancing flame, a fire that will be dancing in the air. And I have spoken with the healer. Now the healer is saying that he wants money, but the money that he wants, I cannot afford. I really do not know what am I supposed to do. If you know anyone that can pray for me to chase away the spirit of my late husband, I will be grateful. And I do not want my in-laws to find out that this is what I did. Please, I beg you, assist me. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our sister right there. Strange things indeed, they do happen in this world. Let us try to talk about this issue in the comment section. Have you ever used love charms on your husband or on your wife, your girlfriend, your boyfriend? If so, you can come to my inbox and share with me your own side of the story.